Welcome back everyone, it's Evan Who's 57 here. I'm back on Neverwinter on the Xbox One with probably a well-awaited video. This is going to cover Relic armor, otherwise known as Relic gear. I will be covering everything from acquisition, restoration, and finally taking it through the vivification process. Now, this armor has been out for a little bit, but it is time gated, so I decided to wait until I had everything that I needed to go over the entire set of gear. Literally everything that you need to know. Please bear with me because this will be a little bit longer of a video. With that being said, you can go into collections and see the gear that we're looking at. It will be different or by a different name for every class. For the Control Wizard, it's called the Mana Seekers, either Raid or Assault gear, and it is very good gear. It's some of the best PvE gear in the game. Now, whether or not you're going for it, or I'm going to go for it, is irrelevant. I'm going to go ahead and show you what you need in order to get it. So first off, you're going to have basically 4 pieces of gear that you can get. The boots, the gauntlets, the helm, and the chestplate. Now, the boots are the easiest piece to get because you can get them from the zone that I'm in right now, which for those of you that don't know, this is Bryn Shander. Not Bryn Sharandar, but Bryn Shander. This is the first zone that you go to in the Icewind Dell category for the Storm King's Thunder campaign. Alright? You just see me go to it with the travel post so you know how to get here. Once you start the campaign, you're going to go through the quest line, and you're going to have the ability to farm these tier 3 heroic encounters. There's 3 of them. They'll spawn like 1 here, here, and then right here. Any of those have a chance of giving you the boots as a drop. They're going to come as either frayed or tattered, or basically they're the unrestored version of the Relic gear. And then you can take it through the restoration process. Now, with this is the only piece that you can get from heroic encounters. The gauntlets, the helmet, and the chestplate all come out of a dungeon. And the dungeon that those come out of is actually FBI, or Fangbreaker Island. Now, it is a very hard dungeon to do, especially if you are of low item level. Its minimum requirements are 3.1k item level and 28% Everfrost damage resistance. It can be done, and a lot of people do farm the dungeon, but the final chest at the end has a chance of giving you one of those pieces of unrestored Relic gear. I was pretty lucky, and I got all of my Relic gear in about 40 runs of the dungeon. Some people have gotten it in as few as 5 or 6. Some people have had to do almost 100 runs to get their gear. So it's very varied when it comes to that. Now the next step is going to be to restore it. All of the gear is going to require similar items. So click on it and go down to restore. It will then show you what you need in order to restore the gear. The first thing you're going to need is the Austorian resin. This is a time-gated item. This is probably the hardest item and most annoying to get. You get this by getting Cold Run unlocked in the campaign, unlocking the Fangbreaker Island dungeon, and then there is a weekly quest that you pick up in Cold Run to do Fangbreaker, and it will reward you with one of these resin. The resin is bound to character, and it is not tradable. You can only get 1 per character per week. The next item that you need is going to be lanolin. This is the item that makes this gear so expensive. The reason why it's so expensive is because depending upon your platform that you play on, it costs between 20,000 to 30,000 diamonds per piece, and for the full set you're going to need almost 140 pieces. You'll be spending just under 4 million diamonds to get enough lanolin if you buy it. You can also farm heroic encounters in any of the 3 zones. Bryn Shander, Lonelywood, Cold Run all have a chance of dropping lanolin. The very last item that you will need is Blood. By now you probably know how to farm it. I will leave a link in the description to my Blood farming video. The easiest way to farm it is here in Bryn Shander. You may also need, depending upon what gear you have, you may also need either Northern Animal Fat or a Permafrost Shard. These items will show up under your Profession Resources and depending on how many you have, they'll probably be all the way down at the bottom. As you can see here is the permafrost shard, and they cost about 150k. The northern animal fat costs around 12k. So once you have all of your resources, you're ready to restore the gear. Go down to restore. It'll show you the items that you need. Press X to restore it, and there you go. That's guaranteed when you restore it. Now remember, before you restore it, the gear is salvageable, and after you restore it, the gear is also salvageable. So we've covered acquisition and restoration. Now, the biggest question that everybody wanted to know when mod 10.5, otherwise known as the Sea of Moving Ice, released, is they seen in the collections Vivified Relic gear. And I know you're sitting here going, how the bloody hell do I get this? It doesn't make any sense. They have no information on how to do it. Well, that's where I come in. So you're going to need another time-gated item. I know you're saying, oh my god, really, right? Yes, it's unfortunately the case. You are going to need another item, and it's going to be a relatively difficult item to get. So I'm going to do this slightly out of order, and I'm going to show you the item. It's the Asturian tail carving. Now this is the time-gated item. You get this once per week from doing your first successful MSVA, which is the Master Trials, the Assault of Savborg. You can only get one, and it is bound to character. So it takes you 8 weeks to get enough of these pieces to be able to fully vivify your relic gear set. That's why it's annoying. Now, I know you're going to ask, well, what good does it do me? Because you click on the now restored piece of relic gear, Manor Seeker's Raid Shoes. You click on restore and it says, well, that doesn't help me. I need a Man Seeker's Testimony volume 4. And you're looking at it like, how do I get this? It's a reagent, you don't have enough. What am I supposed to do? But you just said that you have the tail carvings. Well, the tail carvings are half the battle. What you need to do is you need to come to Bryn Shander, and you're going to walk over here where you have all your normal NPCs to interact with, and you will notice a couple of NPCs right here. And they basically just gossip around. I kind of found these by accident because I was actually looking to try and turn in these pieces that I needed, and then only accidentally found them. So each piece of your gear is going to take a different testimony. Volume 3, 4, 1, 2. Every piece of gear takes a different one. And you're going to talk to the Asturian historian. Say that 5 times fast. And you'll see that there's the tail carvings exchange. Now you'll see Volume 1 costs 1 carving. Volume 2 costs 3. Volume 3 costs 2. And Volume 4 costs 2. Why Volume 3 and 4 cost less than 2, I don't understand. But we know that we need Volume 3, so I'm going to go ahead and purchase Volume 3. Now that I have Volume 3, you'll see that I can go into the Restore, and it shows that I have Volume 3, and I also need 10,000 Von Blood. At least it doesn't take lanolin. Now you'll see that if I look at the stats, the changes to the stats are minimal. It's not a huge upgrade. Basically, the regular raid armlets, let's just take Power for instance, 1026, and Vivified, they're 1202. So you basically gain 175. It's a small bonus, but it's worthwhile. Also, the item level increases from 145 to 155. Go ahead and restore that. Congratulations, that piece is now vivified. Now you can look at the next one, and you'll see I need Testimony Volume 1. So I'm going to go ahead and buy the Testimony Volume 1. We're going to do the same thing here. Small bump in stats and a bump in item level. Also very important, enchantments, armor kits, dyes, transmutes, and empowerment levels will be maintained during the restoration process. So if you already used a reinforcement kit, don't worry, you're going to keep it. Now let's see what I need here for the chest plate. Oh, I need volume number 2. I need the expensive one now. So I'm going to go over here and I'm going to buy volume number 2. And we'll restore that real quick. Which is going to take it through becoming vivified. Look at that. Now that piece is vivified. And I believe the boots take volume 4. Just double check. Make sure you get the right one because you don't want to waste this item. Yep, it takes volume 4. Go in here, go down, and spend my last 2 tail carvings to buy volume 4. Now that I have the 4th volume, I can go ahead and vivify these shoes if I had enough Von blood. However, it takes another 10,000 Von blood, and you can see that I am just a little bit short on Von blood. I have 5,455 Von blood. So I actually have to do a little bit more farming in order to get what I need. It's not bad. It is what it is. I'm not going to worry about it. One last thing that I want to show you, though, is once you equip the gear, you can go down and you have another option called Von Blood Empowerment. And this shows you the ranks of it. So it's basically at rank 2, tier 2. And that's what the stats are at tier 2. If you let it go down to tier 1, you only get 2% Everfrost damage resistance. And, well, basically its stats are a little bit less. You see what the changes are there on the right screen. Negative 2%, 2000 HP, 91 power, 137 crit, and 27 defense. But you can go ahead and fill the item with Von blood to increase it to tier 3. Increasing it to tier 3 gives you more Everfrost damage resistance, HP, power, crit, and defense. Go ahead and commit, and you will now see that I'm wearing that gear. Its item level now is 160, tier 3 combat time remaining of 2 hours, giving you 8% Everfrost damage resistance, 29,387 HP, 7 armor class, 1337 power, 2006 crit, and 622 defense, without any enchantments on it at all. It is very good gear, very powerful gear, and if you can bear with the amount of time needed to actually get it, the time gate on restoring it, and then the time gate on taking it through the vivified process, this will be your try-hard set of gear. Personal preference, though. I hope that this video helped you out. If you have any questions, comments, anything like that, please leave a comment. Otherwise, go ahead and smash the like button, share the video with a friend, and of course, subscribe for more content. Until next time, stay frosty.